Yeah.
So Joseph,
Yes, sir.
so a few things. One is that I want to I want to ask you a little bit more about your story. You told me some of your story. And the other is I want to bring you back to when we went hiking. You reminded me of like this th just what I don't see a lot of, which is someone who's willing to push their edge, who's willing to push their own or expand their limits and who's excited about life's experiences. And I thought that was really cool. Do you remember that? You were like,
Yes.
yeah, you were like, oh, I want to do this, this, and this, and this. I want to kind of live on the edge a little bit. Um, I thought it was really cool. Andrew, if you don't know, that I think you remember what hike that was. But yeah, I was like, dude, freaking awesome. That's pretty cool. I just loved your attitude there because it just spoke of, you know, courage and excitement, which was cool.
It sounds like a very fascinating thing to talk about. I'm going to speak for Joseph. No, I'm just kidding. No, I'm not. before we dive into it, I have to say, welcome to the Hype Mind, Joseph, and anybody who watches this. I'm one of your hosts. Daniel's your other host, and so yeah, dude, I want you to expand on that myself too, because pushing your edge and doing it with courage is it's something I think people struggle with. It's something that's definitely challenging, and it's something that the world could definitely use more of. So where does that come from? Where would you start based on what Daniel's expressed an interest in hearing about?
First of all, I would like to say thank you for both of you in waiting for this amazing podcast. I remember Daniel and we hang out for hiking, and then I share with him, and he invites me to be in this podcast. I'm super excited. So I would like to share a little bit about my life experience and my life story. My name is Joseph Safari. You could find me on social media, Joseph Safari, Safari. Why my last name Safari? Because I travel a lot to explore new things, to meet many. That's what I did. I was young, so I left my hometown and I meet many different people with different backgrounds. I meet many different people with different beliefs and I interview them. I ask many different questions to understand what does that mean life or life should be, right? So I grew up with, go ahead.
Yeah, when did this desire to learn this happen though? How old are you right now, and when did you first experience that desire?
I was 17 when I joined to military just to experience right now I'm 40 years old after 17 years. Yeah, I was 17, but before joining the military, always I have a question. Always I had a question in my mind. What is the happiness? Why I'm not happy? Always I was chasing the life and I was thinking if I have a pretty girl, maybe I should be happy. If I have a better car, maybe could be help me to be much happy. Or things like that, like a materialistic. Dan, we talk about it.
Yeah, we
Always
did.
I was chasing the lifestyle based on materialistic. I remember I moved to Las Vegas just because I heard a lot of things about the Las Vegas. Las Vegas is a beautiful city. You're laughing, I know. Las Vegas is a great city. You should visit there. And I lived in Las Vegas for 1 year. After 1 year, the question mark come back to my mind. This is not happiness. And where is the happiness? So I was 17. I left my hometown and I traveled to different country. And the reason I did this because many times I was struggling with myself. My self-confidence was low. My self-esteem was low. I never loved myself because always I follow at my time there is no social media, right? No, social media is huge. Everybody follows social media and they see
You
a lot
old
of,
man.
yeah, you see a lot of things in social media, Daniel, they are not real, they're fake. And some people with low self-esteem, like in my past, or self-confidence, they believe if they get a job or if they have a better car, if they have a better relationship, them life getting better. That's happened to me. That's why I travel and I live in 3 different countries. And by the way, English is not my first language. If you didn't understand my language, you can ask me a question. Um, so the reason I would like to share my life experience because I would like to inspire a lot of people to understand life is beautiful. Life is great if you stop chasing a lot of things that are not related to real life. For example, when I was teenager, always I follow all Hollywood movie star, right? And I said, oh, they are movie star. Right now, I'm an actor. I'm in the movie, but didn't change me. I'm still same person. Always there is some missing part inside of me, Andrew, and this missing part always they forcing me to working very hard to following something that are not real. Do you know what I mean? So
Oh, completely.
I experienced many different things. And when I achieved them, for example, my biggest dream was living in Las Vegas. I live in Las Vegas. I bought a car. I got a job. After a couple months, the question mark and the feeling, the loneliness feeling is come back again and self-esteem, self-confidence. And right now, I don't have this uh, struggling time with myself. I'm super comfortable with myself. Sometimes I feel I'm two different person. You know what I mean? I love myself because I'm comfortable. Sometimes I go to restaurant by myself, and I
Right, that
spend the
dualistic nature kind of. You're always fighting
yes,
with some other part of yourself.
yes, and because uh, the life this lifestyle they show to people is not real. And I got a degree, I travel, I bought a car, I moved to different country, I joined Navy, I left the Navy, I moved to different country, and I moved to different country. I learned new language, I changed my beliefs, I changed my name. Can you believe it, Daniel? I changed my name. I thought if I change my name, maybe I become someone.
Yeah.
And it was same.
Hmm.
The missing part inside of me
Yeah.
was same.
No, it's something I like to remind myself all the time that I learned was that nothing, like anything outside of you doesn't change your feelings. Like your feelings are inside of you. So changing anything outside of you doesn't affect what's inside of you. Wow.
Exactly.
Cool. No, you got a cool story.
So you
Thank you.
chasing any pieces still? Do you feel
Uh,
like there's any missing pieces?
right now, no, I don't feel any missing. I feel I'm
And
good.
that's because you just bought a new car and moved again?
No, not that's why. The reason I'm super comfortable with myself because ended the story, all my I left all 10 years. Yes, 10 years. That's my vision book. I wrote everything here. See, that's my vision book.
Your
I have
vision
it every,
book
yeah, I have
for
it everywhere
for
with
the
me.
future
And for future and the past, that's the map.
and the
I
past.
have this map. I have it for a long time. That's the American. I have a different map for traveling around the world. I have it. It's an
Yeah,
old one.
that's what I was gonna
You don't
correct
think I
you.
know what map that is?
Yeah, yeah. And I put on my finger when I moved to United States because I live in Turkey, I live in Iran, and I have a bigger map and I have it with me. I keep it.
I was gonna mention you need a bigger map because
Yeah, I have a
this is
world map.
not just your home, you know.
Yeah.
You've been to more places.
Yeah, I have a world map with me here for a long time, and always I move to different place because I chase the happiness. I thought if Oh, I moved to Massachusetts. Massachusetts is cold. I don't want to live here. So I want to move to Florida, for example. I moved to Florida after a couple months, same feeling, same mindset. And many people, they believe if they change something outside, they feel better. Yes, maybe for a couple months, Daniel. Maybe you change your job, you feel good after for a couple months, but after a couple
Okay.
months, this feeling is back to you. Go ahead. Sorry.
So when did you find out? How did you find out? When and how did you find out that changing things outside of yourself didn't yield a long-term result?
That's a great question. I start traveling 2010, I believe 2007. 2007, I start traveling, exploring, see many different people. I changed my religion to different religion. 2017, I arrived in Las Vegas. And 11 p.m. and 59 minutes, which means 1 minute to 2018, in the firework in Las Vegas Boulevard, I found the peace. I said, this is not happiness. 1 minute before firework for New
So
Year's
that's when you
Eve,
had the clarity.
I got it.
It
I
was
was,
1 minute
yeah,
before New Year's.
1 minute before New Year's Eve, I was middle of 1,000 people from around the world in Las Vegas Boulevard, and fireworks starting 12 a.m. 2018. I said, I got it. This is not life. And I pick up my
So what
backpack.
belief did you replace that one with?
The beliefs I replace for that is I don't need to work very hard to escape my feeling. Just I have to sit and meditate, right? Because I was made of 1,000 people, everybody drinking, everybody smoking. It's a party. I don't judge people,
Right,
but
present.
when I was there, I see a lot of people with the sport car, with motorcycle, for many things, right? Maybe expensive watch. I don't know. But when I was there, I was outside the box. I look at the materialistic lifestyle and the spiritually awakening, I believe they call. I feel reborn again. I don't know what's happened to me, but after that, I feel very comfortable with myself. I feel I'm good. I don't need to chase this lifestyle to thinking too much. Why I don't have a car? Why I don't have a relationship? Why I don't have a good job? Why I don't have a money? Why? So I stopped asking these questions from myself. Why? Only one question I start asking myself: how I can be comfortable. And then I connect myself to the nature. I start going hiking. That's why I met with Daniel. I start hiking, go to mountain, beach, ocean, swimming, and I stay away from social media for a long time. I stay away from TV, and that was very for beginning my journey when I become to this person. This was my first journey, 2018. Yes, after 10 years. Like I don't know what they call in English. This called hamster. You
A hamster, was
yeah
it? You're on the
yeah
hamster
10.
wheel?
Yeah, I was exactly like a hamster 10 years, and there is no answer.
So you're traveling around in the mid 2000s. Did you cross paths with Daniel at any point during that time? Because I think Daniel left his parents' home at the age of like 5. He just didn't know it. So he was probably wandering around somewhere too.
That's happened to me too. I was a little boy when I left my couple times. I left my home. I was 5, 6, 7. The first time when I left my home, I moved to different city when I was 13. I moved to different city, and then I experienced and I back. But at the 17, I said, I have to see what's going on with me. I have to find the answer. First answer, where is the God? Who created this planet? That's what's first question. Who I
Yeah.
am? Why? Mhm.
So what's your beliefs now as far as religion goes? You said you've swapped religion several times. Did you have a
The
religion when you grew up? Where are you now?
Yes, I born with religion, and I practiced religion for 23 years. When I was 23 years, I change my beliefs, my old religion to new religion because, Andrew, because I believe if I change my religion to different religion, my life get come better, right? So I switch my religion to different religion. Right now it's better. After a couple months, I feel exactly the same thing. So I stopped practicing for second religion. I joined to different beliefs with different community. And then after a couple years, I said, no, it's exactly the same thing. Only the cover is changed, right? So I respect religion, but religion is good, but not for me because I would like to experience a lot of things. And I have a lot of friends who believes different type of religion, and I'm talking to them, I hang out with them. But my beliefs right now is I believe universe. I believe everything in this planet is connected. Everything. Everything is connected with love, I believe, because I can see it. And everything is based on the energy. So for me, there is no boundary. There is no rules and policy for helping other people or supporting yourself on something like that. So if you want to answer your question, I believe usually people, I'm a spiritually person who believe in some energy
Higher
outside
power.
of me, higher power. Some energy is outside of me, is connected inside of me. That was the miss part, Andrew, inside of me, because the connection inside of me was disconnected with the bigger
Picture.
energy.
Sure.
Yep.
So what did you grow up as though?
Where I grew up,
Yeah, what religion did you grow up under
so
or
I
in?
grew up, yeah, I grew up as a Muslim in the different country in the Middle East, and then I changed to Christian. I go to church, I baptize, and then I practice be a Jewish, and I practice to be a Buddhist, and then one short time I become to atheist, which means there is no God, there is no nobody. After that, I study, I hang out, I found a community that believe in metaphysics, like a Big Bang, 2012, I believe. So I joined with this community, and I believe the Big Bang, the world happened for some Big Bang stuff like that. I don't know how to explain it. And after that, all the story, I back to same point again, Daniel. I back to same point again. I said, this question, and the story was happened. So who I am, why I'm here, and I don't know, maybe I'm different.
Oh, you're different.
We're all different.
I don't know.
Come on, brother.
Ah,
Yeah, just a little. Honestly, I want to hear more. Keep going. This is good. I do have some questions though.
no, I have a lot of questions. So
All
I'm
right, well,
not
you
sure if
rattle
you
them
have
off,
more
Andrew.
you want to share, but
I want to hear
it
more.
sounds like you're well it sounds like you're a well discovered individual who understands themselves and accepts themselves. And I think that's a very grounding place to move forward into teaching and into educating and into guiding other people. And so if you're in a place like this, like I think you are, Joseph, what is it that you think is important for human beings to live as? We heard the beginning of your story, over the last few minutes. So you don't have to reiterate any of that. But what are some of your bigger values that you think people would benefit from living as on an
Yeah, that's a great
everyday
question.
basis?
Could you explain this question different way? I didn't understand it completely. Sorry.
Yeah, your values. What do you think
Mhm.
human beings should value? Like what
Oh,
do you see as the most important things human beings should prioritize?
And maybe start with what works for you too.
so the
That you
first
value.
thing I believe human, that's the for everybody is man, woman. It doesn't matter your gender or your nationality. First thing is respect. So if you don't respect yourself, how you want to respect other people? That's the first thing. As a human, I believe everybody have to work on this. And second part, I'm practicing, and I really love it, is self love. If you don't love yourself, how you can love other people? That's the second part of
So
my.
I didn't do a very good job of phrasing this question.
Oh, sorry.
I don't want to talk about this from the sense of self, because one of the things Daniel and I do all the time is talk about this from the sense of self. Go sit down. I want to talk about this from the sense of like talking to others. Like I agree with you. If I was going to talk to people, I would say, hey, you need to respect yourself. You need to show yourself love. You need to do all these things for yourself so you can do them for others. But if I was offering young adults who don't really understand that sense of self yet, I would say things like, hey, it's really important that you have good friends. It's really important that you tell the truth. It's really important um, that you familiarize yourself with things that are of importance to you. It's really important to treat other people with kindness because you don't know what they've been through. Like those are some of my broader sit down, broader messages I would say as a society would benefit everybody. So that's more what I'm asking, because I agree. There's a lot of things related to us as individuals. Yeah, have self-respect, have self-love, etc. But I'm asking you, what are some of the philosophies you would teach others to live by? You know, I think of uh like the golden rule. Treat others the way you want to be treated. Those kind of philosophies where it kind of is very general for the treatment of everybody. I think people can get on board with that and understand that a lot easier than when you make it about themselves.
Yeah, I understand right now your question, but so my life experience or my suggestion or my advice for other people how you could, because I watched the movie and it was very good movie, to be limited yourself, because I see many people they are stuck in the comfort zone and miscommunication, misunderstanding with other people. Active listening is very, very important. If you're listening
That's
to
a good one.
someone,
Yeah.
when you're listening to someone without judgmentally, and I think in United States they said don't judge the book by a cover, something like that. So active listening is very important. When you have empathy, when you have a sympathy with someone, and doesn't matter the person, you have a conversation. What's the background for the person? Because sometimes we ask question and we broke the connection. Human connection is very important, Andrew. Human connection is very important because if you have a connection with other human, you don't feel lonely, and you talk about a lot of support. Usually I hang out with the good people, and traveling is a part of the journey. If you would like to learn about a life, traveling, going to different country, living outside the country, and hang out with people who has a different mindset. And reading book is very important for me because I have a lot of books. And the top one I would like to share with people who want to watch this video podcast, when you're sitting by yourself and you do meditate, and then you understand all answers inside the you. You don't need to chase the answer. Just sit by yourself and ask a couple questions. And for this society, you ask this question when you go to outside, hang out with people, start asking questions to get to know other people. Just say hello, who are you? That's enough. When you say hello, how are you to other people, the connection between you and other humans starting. You know, you and I and Daniel, we walk in the Boston, we have fun. Hello, how are you? We start a conversation, because the fear to having conversation with other people is going to kill your dream. Sometimes you have a dream and you have to follow your dream. If you have a dream, you should follow your dream. But if you do not have a networking and communicate with other human, how you want to follow your dream, how you could achieve your dream? Do you know what I mean? So for me, many things help me to understand the life better. But that's why I share with you guys, and I hope someone watching this movie to this video podcast to understand there is a lot of opportunity for you, but nobody coming to support you to help you. The first person can help you is you, right? The important job is a self-care. If you care, if you take care of yourself, you can take care of other people. So yeah, nobody helped me to not nobody helped me, which means the desire inside of me and willingness inside of me, Andrew, is still inside of me. But how I can use it when I'm hang out with you, with Daniel, when I go to community, when I introduce myself, when I ask questions for other people. That's very helpful to having couple good
Right. Have that
networking.
willingness.
Yeah. But
Have that
sometimes
desire to connect.
yes, but this willingness and desire is not coming to you easy. So how you can get it, how you can develop your, I believe they call develop your desire to increase, how you could increase your desire or your willingness to build a networking, communicating with other people. There is many different technique. It depends on the person. Sometimes you watch a TED Talk. Sometimes you go to community, like me and Daniel, we go to Boston, North End. There is a community, we join with them, we have fun, right? What do you think, Daniel?
You know what I think? I think you're punctual. You're on time, and I love that about you.
Thank you.
That's sidetracked, but
So, you said people should travel to get to know themselves. And this is somewhere where I think Daniel's opinion would greatly differ from yours. So I'd like to hear both of you guys, discuss that.
what about the travel?
Well, I heard Joseph say that people should travel to kind of discover other things and discover themselves more. And I don't believe you would agree with that. In fact, I think you would argue nobody needs to travel to have a fulfilling life or to get to know themselves or to grow into themselves at all.
No, I mean, yeah, you're right. I would disagree with that. But I also think it's like new experiences. Well, one thing I have against traveling is the fact that it takes a lot of time, and most people they don't like it. Like it also is a hassle, but like I feel like we also miss out on the experiences here that you can have so many experiences where you are. You don't have to go somewhere else to have that experience. And an
Exactly.
extension of that, your experience is in you. So it's not outside of you. Like it's a what do they call it? A mirror, right? So it's like it just gives you a better reflection of what's inside. So um yeah, I mean, and to reiterate what Joseph said with the, asking yourself these questions, like you have the answers inside you. You don't need to go out and get them. And I think Joseph agrees with that too. Um, but I believe with you, traveling's more of a preference versus me. I'm actually not a big traveler, Joseph. I don't know if you knew that about me, but I am not a big traveler.
Well, I wouldn't even say just a big traveler. I would almost say you not despise traveling, but you have you place no value in it. Like from my point of view, I would emphasize that because I am curious, kind of what you both would say in terms of debating one end and the other. Because you never really struck me as neutral about traveling, Daniel. You've always struck me as very firmly resolute. It just doesn't fall into your value system, and it shouldn't fall into a lot of other people's value systems.
Yeah, what I meant when I said I'm not a big traveler is I I guess I won't do it for fun. Like I will travel to maybe accomplish something, to do something. It's not something I enjoy as
So
leisure. But yeah,
when I
I'm not I definitely got something with traveling.
yeah,
Um
when I
and I
mentioned
don't want to get into
traveling,
debate though, that's for sure. I don't care if other people
Well,
like traveling. I
conversation.
just
Don't
think
call it
right.
debate if you don't want to.
I just think
Conversation.
I honestly think it's kind of funny too, how it's a big fad. It's such a big fad, you know. Everybody loves traveling, especially girls. They love traveling. And for me, I don't really get it. Like I don't get the hype as much. I don't understand. Like maybe I understand a little bit, but not that much. I think it is overrated.
when I thank you so much, Dan, sharing with us. I really appreciate you and thank you, Andrew. When I mentioned traveling, I didn't mean it traveling going to moon. No,
Oh,
traveling
I
is
know you don't. Yeah.
Just go outside your home. When you stay house watching movie, eating popcorn, nothing happen. Trust me.
Okay.
If you're sitting, when I say traveling, I mean anywhere. You can sit in your car driving 10 minutes, find some nice nature view, sitting there, get a coffee or tea. I don't know which one do you like. Just go outside your comfort zone. You don't need to travel around the country or around this planet. But when you stay home and you don't do nothing, you cannot understand you don't know how there is an answer, right? When you see, because many times people ask me, how can I uh, how can I increase my uh, encourage, right? Everybody has an encourage to do. Everybody has a willing. Everybody has a desire. Everybody has an encourage, right? So we talk about the limit, right? How you could broke the limit to be unlimited. You have to experience something new. And Daniel, he exactly say correctly. When you go to the beach, for example, you don't put your finger in the water. You don't know the water is cold or hot, right? Before you touch the water, you see it's cold. Who say that? Did you touch it? No. When you don't touch something, you cannot judge it with your mind. So the human brain is designed to say no, no, no. Who want to help you to say yes? I want to try it. For example, and I would like to eat some new foods. I hear there is a new restaurant has a new food, right? And then you said girls they love traveling. Yeah, the girls they love restaurant too. I know. So there's a new restaurant. I have to go there to experience it before eat. How can I judge it? So this action plan in my vision book, when I wrote something, I'm going to do it. And who want to help me? Me. I have to support myself. But when I say it, traveling tonight, I'm driving to New Hampshire. It's a 45-minute from Boston. It's not too far. That's exactly what I do. Every weekend I go some new place. I meet new people. I'm asking questions. I'm listening to them. Hey, what's your life experience? What's your story? It's super excited. Please, could you share with me? That's enough. And the funniest story I call human library. I don't need to go to Harvard Library. Human library. Everybody for me is a book, right?
That's
Human
good.
library.
That's really good.
Yeah. Yeah,
Yeah.
when you're
Funny.
sitting next to someone, grab the coffee, doesn't matter. Dunkin' Donuts coffee or Starbucks coffee, tea, that doesn't matter. When you're sitting with someone and sharing and person share with you, that's exactly right in the book because there's a real life experience. You know,
I'm
Daniel?
keeping that, Joseph. That's really good. Everybody's a book.
So,
It
you
it kind
know,
of it kind of
you
extends on what I think Andrew said before. It might have been in this podcast, but it was like, there's so much to learn about people.
Yes,
It really is.
exactly.
And
you both have said things that
see it like a book. It's pretty cool.
are deeply unique because my thought is, and I don't know if I ever noticed this. So, so Joseph, you said, I travel to experience new things, and Daniel said, I'll travel places for a, um, I won't do it for fun, but I'll do it for something important, right? So, like, it's interesting because I think one of the biggest reasons I actually love traveling nearby, outside of my neighborhood, across the United States, to a different country, whatever, wherever the traveling is I think when you're doing it right, traveling helps you experience and familiarize yourself with yourself if you're doing it right. Now, you could definitely do that wrong. I mean, you could spend all week on a beach listening to music, getting drunk, and I would guess you probably wouldn't learn a whole lot about yourself because you'd be pretty distracted. But there have been a number of situations where I've been open to traveling, and I have done that, and I've gone somewhere, and usually it's required some sort of a challenge, whether it's learning that I can balance my money in a unique situation that I've never been in, or whether I learn that I can actually push myself further and do some physical activity beyond what I'd known I was capable of. Or whether it just gives me the opportunity to sit back and truly maybe escape from the busyness of the world around me in an environment I'm not familiar in, and to actually have a much deeper opportunity to meditate, whereas it might have been a little more challenging in your own backyard where there's a lot of noise. Um,
You'd appreciate
but I think,
this. We'll keep going, actually. You keep going. But I got something to share with you because I think you'd appreciate this about this perspective I gained about traveling. Did you have to finish something? Your sentence?
not really. I mean,
Okay.
I just think that in traveling, you allow yourself to discover yourself more if you're doing it properly. You know, oh, I'm
Hmm.
going to a new country. I'm really afraid to go to a new country because I don't speak French or whatever, right? And you do it anyway, and you realize that you're adaptable and you can learn how to communicate with people who don't speak the only language you know. Um, Whatever it is, it's like you learn how to do that. You learn, oh, I'm in the middle of the desert. And like people might say, well, that's silly. I'm never in the middle of the desert. It's like, yeah, I would have said the same thing until I was there, right? I'm in the middle of the desert. I don't have cell service. What do I do? Like, what happens if I get into trouble? And it's like, you just learn these new areas of yourself that you've never had the opportunity to um, observe, because sometimes I think traveling really opens that door a lot wider and a lot more resolutely. Like, hey, it's happening. You don't get a choice anymore. There's no going back. We burn the ships.
Yeah, I mean,
But go ahead.
you basically explained the perspective I was going to give you, but I heard this and it kind of opened my eyes a little bit more to traveling and just seeing it in a different way. And it's the fact that you're somewhere and you can't go home right away. Like there's you have to there's a
Yeah.
little bit of a discomfort barrier and you have to cross it and you can't just, you're not just 45 minutes from home where you can just turn around and drive home. It's like you set a date, you're there for that time, and you put yourself there, so you kind of stuck there a little bit. So you're like more inclined to have to adapt and in that way grow a little bit and have a new experience from it.
I was just sharing this story the other day. I was driving. My family, I grew up in a family with a father who doesn't believe that anything short of a brand new car is capable of making it across the United States. And so when I had the opportunity to move to Alaska for work, I drove my beater 37-year-old Toyota pickup that was like just shy of being a rust bucket. And I loaded it up with all my stuff and I drove across the United States to where I was going to catch a ferry. I didn't have to do that. I could have taken a plane. I could have had my stuff shipped. I could have taken a boat the entire way. I could have rented a car. I could have done a whole bunch of things, right? But I decided to drive, and to not just drive, but drive with a full pickup truck bed. And yeah. And part of that adventure was making it almost all the way to the ferry. And then like a few hundred miles short of where I would be okay with my truck breaking down, it broke down in the middle of nowhere in a place that had no cell service. But it was one of those chances where I was like, I learned about myself. I learned that, you know, I could handle the situation. I learned that I didn't need internet connection. I didn't need Wi-Fi. I didn't need a place to fix my car. I didn't need to worry about deadlines. Like I could let all that go and just let myself be okay. And still pull off an adventure like that in a really old vehicle that wasn't supposed to make it out of the state, for crying out loud. So
Yeah, that reminds me of the story about the army burning the boats. You ever hear that
yeah,
one?
well,
It's like,
that's why I said burn the boats when I was talking about it
oh,
earlier.
perfect. Oh, yeah, I didn't hear that. Cool. Awesome. Yeah, that's pretty dope. No, but
But that's what you do a lot of times by
yeah,
mistake.
you test yourself and there's something when you know you have to. Like we are very capable even when we don't think we are.
Yes, and we
Exactly.
prove that when we don't have a way out.
Thank you
That was
so much
Joseph.
for
Yeah.
sharing, Andrew. I would like to, many times when I have an interview with the people, we call motivational interviewing question. When I have a motivational interviewing question with people, I ask them a question: what is your goals? So some say my goals is this, right? The second question: what is your strength to achieve these goals? The person say, for example, I have a family, I have a money, I have a car. This support can help me to achieve my goals, right? And their third question is, what is your challenging? What's your barrier? Some people, they don't know, but the biggest challenge to achieve their goals is fear. Fear is the biggest challenge for human in this planet to jump to opportunity. Do you know what I mean? And the last question is, who can help you to achieve these goals? The first person is yourself. The reason I mentioned, because motivational interviewing question is the best technique usually I use with my client. And I remember because in Middle East, we have many different languages. In United States, in Canada, in Europe, I believe everybody could speak English to communicate, right? For example, Canadian, American people, they have a similar language. People in UK, they speak English. People in Austria, they speak English, right? So English is a top language in this planet. People can communicate. For me, who born in Middle East, I don't speak English at all. We don't speak English. We have a different language.
We'll bring it there soon.
Yes, the reason I bring it up, I'm sharing with you guys because Andrew said. So I pick up my backpack, and my first language was Farsi, right? And the fear inside of me, and you talk about the finance, you talk about the money. I pick up my backpack. I didn't have the money, no money in my pocket. Can you believe it? I pick up my backpack. I pick up my map, my torch, my watch, my books. I walk from city to city, and I cross the border from my first country to Turkey. When I arrive in Turkey, people speak Turkish, and Turkish is not my first language. How can I communicate with Turkish people? Where is the hotel? What kind of food I want? How can I live in Turkey for 5 years, and I learned Turkish, and I got a job there, and I studied there, and I make 1,000 friends until my friends in Turkey, they communicate with me. When I lived in Turkey for 5 years, I didn't have a social media. I didn't use the social media. I didn't use the computer. I didn't have a TV. I was all the time I was in the nature, go to mountain, go hiking. And 2017, I moved to United States. When I landed in United States, I didn't speak English at all. I remember someone asked me, what's your name? I said, my name is Joseph. My English done. Don't talk to me anymore. So right now I speak 4 different languages. How? Because I communicate with people and I live different country. I don't say everybody should do that, but the point of sharing my story, I step away from my comfort zone, from my fear, because Andrew, he said correctly, when you have a fear, your brain going to stuck and you cannot achieve your goals. I moved to different country. I didn't speak the language. I didn't know the culture. I didn't know the beliefs. I didn't have nobody. I didn't have money, and I didn't, just me, my backpack. After 1 week, I found a job. Only 1 week, I found a job. I helping someone to move furniture. We do not have the same language, but he showed me with the body language how can I work behind the machine, right? I'm making money, and then I rent a house. And I remember I got my driving license, and I moved here. Same thing. When I moved here, I live in Lynn, Massachusetts. I didn't speak English, so I walk. I remember many times in Boston, I lost myself. I don't know where is the blue line, green line. I don't know how to use the Charlie card. Everything was new to me. But the fear inside of me, first I work on my fear. I remember I went to McDonald's. I didn't know how to order a food with the English language. You have to go there. The customer service asks you a question: what sandwich do you want? I look at the number. I said, this one.
Right.
So The fear inside of me telling me don't go out because you don't speak English. Right now, for example, you and Dania, thank you so much for inviting me to be part of this podcast, right? But when Daniel, he asked me the first question in my brain telling me because you don't speak English very well, and the fear is is catch me. You know what I mean? The fear. I said, no, that's not true. I could speak English. I can share my
Consumed.
story. Yeah. So for everybody in this planet, first you have, because I have a paper all the time, and you have to write down your fear, your scary feeling inside you. Daniel, do you know what I mean? Because
Do. Yes.
everything inside the you, we do not have, I don't have a machine to diagnosing you to figure out what's going on with you. You have to share with other human. I have a fear. For example, you want to buy a car. You want to buy a car, but the fear inside the you keep you in the comfort zone. So who want to help you? People around you could help you to move on in your life. Yeah. Right now, I speak English. I can communicate with people. I finished the college. I got the job. I rent the house. I bought the car because I step back. I step away. I don't know, from my comfort zone to communicate with other people. Yeah, fear is not good.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. No, it just reminds me of the paper thing. I think of like writing down sometimes as vomit. You're just vomiting on paper because it's all disoriented and it's like, in a way, it's like explosive because you can't orient it. And then you put it on paper and you can see it properly. But one thing, the things I love about your story is, I think the one thing is it's the boldness and the courage. And especially with the fear, constantly facing your fear. That's pretty damn awesome, and I think pretty important too. Because, like you
Yes,
said, if you
Daniel.
don't, if you can't achieve anything if you don't go past your fear, because fear will stop
Yeah, exactly. I learned this with the English language because I know this with different language. They said I cannot do it because I have a fear, right? Many times. Why you cannot do that? Because I have a fear. I said, do it with your fear. Just do it. You you want to be a public speaker, right? Why you cannot be a public speaker? I have a fear someone judging me. Go do it with fear. Just do it. It doesn't matter you have a fear or no. Just go in front of the people. Practice, practice, practice. And the
You are
fear. Mhm.
you're one ballsy guy, which is good because we need more ballsy men.
Yeah, exactly.
Go sit down. But hey, thank you for joining us. It is always a pleasure to see your smile and to hear your stories and your wisdom. It is, I'm sure it goes much deeper than what you shared. Um, did you have what is one little point you would make, one little lesson to share with people um, before we close this out?
Um, I would like to say to people who watch these video podcasts, you are not alone. That's number one. We are not alone. We have a lot of support because Andrew say it. Raise your hand and ask for help. You know, if I would like to encourage people to follow dreams, and is a the the biggest advice I can share with people is always there is a help. Always there is someone to support you, help you. Just ask. Just ask. You know.
Jesus would be right there by your side, asking you to preach with him. Daniel, any thoughts in closing?
No,
Questions,
that's it.
comments?
That's all. All right, done.
Hey, from
Thank
all of us here at the Hive Mind, peace and thanks for joining us. And thank
peace
you, a special
and
thank you,
love.
Joseph. Yes, and love. Thank you, a special thank you, Joseph, for hopping on here with us today. So go forth and do great things.